Hey, True Crime family, it is Auntie. Welcome to this live. So, tonight we're going to be discussing witness tampering allegations in the Romeca Meeks case. Before I start this live, I want to welcome all the new subscribers into the True Crime family. You guys know over here that we speak facts, we speak law, and we are a voice for victims, right? We have an open mind, okay? We listen to both sides of the story, okay? And we do our due diligence to gather all facts. Now, I present those facts to you guys. I also present the law, right? I don't try to give you an angle on where you need to be, all right? You guys can decide, but I'm going to bring truth to these cases, okay? So, before I get started, once again, make sure you guys hit that like button. It's very important that you guys hit that like button because that's going to put me into the algorithm. Also, share this live so I can get more views. Our family is growing. Okay. The family is growing. Like I'm telling you, we are headed to the top. All right. So, like I said, it's live. It's been going around that the witnesses in this case of the state versus Quadacia Johnson, that the witness has been posted online. Not only has the witnesses been posted online, but also their backgrounds. So we're going to get into what that means, what that can do towards a case, and if it's illegal, right? And I did a poll. And 65% of you voted that it's only illegal based on what the intent of posting that was. All right. So let's get into some slides. Okay. So True Crime with Auntie, Illinois Law and Social Media, master slides I created. All right. So communicating with a witness or juror to influence testimony is a felony. Includes direct or online communication. Threatening or repeated communication meant to cause distress, including social media messages. Threats intended to influence behavior, punishable by prison time under Illinois law. Posts, live streams, and messages can be used as evidence. Intent matters more than the platform. So, with that being said, the 65% was right. It has to go towards intent. Why was that witness pictures and background posted? What was the intentions of that? Commentary and opinions only, no legal advice, all individuals are presumed innocent. Now we know here in the United States that's not true. We are supposed to be presumed innocent until proven guilty, but it's actually the other way around. We are guilty and we have to prove ourselves innocent. Now we're going to go into the law, and this law is based in Illinois. Okay. So let's read over that. And I've highlighted some things. Give me a minute. Okay. Let's see, can I make it bigger? Wow, you can't hardly see it. I don't think I can. All right. So I'm going to read it. The highlighted portion from my files. So I thought, maybe I can make it bigger if I get smaller. Let's see. All right, there we go. So Illinois witness tampering law. All right, so what I did was I highlighted the most important thing that can help us decide whether or not this is a criminal act by posting a witness picture and her background. Okay, harassment of a witness, and this is the code based on law. Illinois also criminalizes harassment of witnesses and jurors. Hey, Auntie Baby. This includes communication intended to harass, annoy, threaten, or cause emotional distress. And I think that's very, very important. Okay. And that's where I think that they're crossing the line, because why was that picture of the witness posted in her background? So, depending on the circumstances, this offense may be charged as a class to felony. Now, social media and criminal liabilities in the state of Illinois. Illinois courts and prosecutors recognize that social media posts can constitute criminal conduct when they threaten, harass, or attempt to influence witness, jurors, or court officials. Key takeaways. Witness tampering and intimidation are felony offenses in Illinois. Social media posts are not immune from prosecution. Intent matters more than the platform used. And there we go with that word intent. And that's the biggest thing, how we can decide whether or not a law was broken or whether, that it was criminal. When the witness was placed on social media along with her background. What was the reason for doing that? What was the intent? Was the intent to embarrass, harass, disencourage the witness? We have to look at the intent. I don't know the intent. What I do know is it don't help the case, right? It has no leverage as far as helping a case to out a witness or their background. And I know it's been said that Carlos is a witness. And I want to just, give y'all some facts. Carlos is not witness number one. All right. Take that, right, and put in your pipe and smoke it. He's not witness number one, but he is a witness. He's a witness for the state and defense. Now, Carlos, he's very active on social media, correct? Very active. Very active. He's also done interviews. So he's not hiding. He say he was there. He came online. He said he was there. And like I said, he's been doing lives. He's been doing interviews. So he's not hiding out. He's not wanting to keep he doesn't want to keep his stance private. So he's fair game. He's fair game. He's not private. Like I said, he's done interviews. And he's made it known that he was there. So he's fair game. But as far as a witness that's not on social media, that, has not been broadcasting themselves online, I think it was, tasteless. But that's just me. All I know is that as far as being a witness to something, it takes a very brave person to stand up and say what they saw. They want to go to court. They want to cooperate with the police. Not everybody is willing to do that, right? But if someone starts, putting them out on social media, trying to embarrass them, putting their picture out, then they start to get harassed and all of that, then we are crossing criminal lines. That's what we're doing. Correct. He is a witness, but he's personally speaking on the case. He was also the middleman. Very correct. He was. Definitely. So, I'm just I gave y'all the scenario. I also gave y'all the facts and I gave y'all the law. So y'all can make a decision on, what you think. Now, also I heard that Carlos was attacked, right? I'm going to play that video of him at court when he was attacked, and we're going to figure out, or we're going to make a decision whether or not that constitutes tampering with a witness. But before that, I wanted to play something real quick for you guys.
Have a court date scheduled for January the 7th. Her current Williams did go ahead and file a motion. Romeca Meeks continues. Holly does have a court date scheduled for January the 7th. Her current attorney, Ari Williams, did go ahead and file a motion for immediate release. They're definitely trying to get her out. Everybody has said it will not happen. It will not happen. We're going to go with that. Don't worry about it. But there are some rumors that they may be getting rid of Ari Williams as the attorney. I don't know why. She's a phenomenal attorney. You might want to go ahead and keep her, because what the option that I've seen is keep Ari. Okay, keep Ari. And I am not on Team Holly in any way, shape, or form. But what I'm seeing as the other alternative, it's going to be a no, okay? Because we want the best attorney on both sides.
Correct.
So we can be one and done. We don't want to have to do no trials again. Absolutely not. So stick with Ari, okay? But do what you're gonna do, child. Do what you're gonna do. And also, it is being stated that supporters that are Team Holly are exposing and or doxing and or releasing information about witnesses.
Now, see, I want to, pause that because she heard the same thing. Okay. She heard the same thing. And she and I don't even know each other. But we can agree that this is widespread. It's being said and that it happened.
Is unnecessarily. Don't get caught up in getting a crime and getting a charge yourself by trying to be supportive, okay? Please reference to the Karen Reed trial because Turtle Boy was dealing with that kind of stuff where he was a very good advocate for her.
Now, if y'all don't know about Turtle Boy, I suggest y'all go Google him. Turtle Boy actually went to jail for the same thing that's happening with the witnesses in the Romeca Meeks case.
But they say he was doing some witness intimidation stuff. Don't get a charge because you're not aware that you can get a charge because you think you're doing right, okay? Be smart with your moves. It is a crime, all right? Don't be exposing them people because you think that's going to help. It's not, because you sitting in jail on a charge of your own does not help her case in any way, shape, or form. Let's remember to do things on the up and up because, again, I'm not going to be able to tell you no other way but straight. One time. Let's make sure everything's on the P's and Q's. Let's do that. Y'all keep playing, and we haven't even got to the meat and potatoes of this trial, okay? Because we ain't even started, really. And y'all already acting up. We got fights outside of the courthouse. They probably gonna have very limited people up in there on the 7th because the way y'all already been acting, and y'all releasing information about witnesses. Let's get it together, okay?
Yeah, let's
leave the shenanigans in 2025 so we can roll into 2026 with the right mindset. And y'all playing too many doggone games. One and done. That is the requirement. Do everything by the law. Y'all need to stop playing.
So let's not only, let's be responsible bloggers. Let's be responsible journalists. It's all about being responsible, right? And when we be responsible, then we don't have any negative outcomes. So like I said, on that day of court, which was, I believe, December the 3rd, there was a fight outside of the courtroom. Now, I've seen some bloggers say, well, that's witness intimidation. So we're going to see the fight. Then I'm going to give y'all some background, give y'all some facts, and y'all can decide whether or not that was witness intimidation.
For exchange. Now, allegedly, people are saying...
Hold on, that's not it. I thought I had it. I probably didn't upload it, guys. If I didn't, please forgive me. What is this? Title design. Okay, I don't have the fight, but I'm going to give y'all what I saw because there is a video out of the fight. Then I'm going to give y'all dialogue from somebody that was actually there. Okay. So I saw a fight. I didn't actually see the fight, but I did see Carlos in handcuffs, and I seen two other individuals that were in handcuffs. Okay. And they were both taken back into court. So it was said that Carlos got into a fight with Romeca Meeks' camp. Was that witness intimidation? Were they fighting him to intimidate him not to support Holly? Were they fighting him to intimidate him to stand down? That's the decision. That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Now I'm going to bring on Tia Ewing. She was there. Not only she was there, but her coworkers were there. So we're going to talk about the fight. We're going to let Tia tell us because we weren't there. Okay.
And obviously there's two sides, right? Really three. There's people that are supporters of Romeca. She's had supporters this entire time. Since she died, people have been calling for Quadeja Holly Johnson to be charged. And then you have those of Quadeja Holly Johnson that believes that...
Hold on. I got to get it together. All right. So let's do this first. All right. So let's get the information so we can decide.
It gets interesting. So our field producer who was there said that Quadeja Holly Johnson's family was let out first.
Hey, Ricky.
Out of the courtroom.
Did y'all hear that? Quadeja Johnson family was let out the courtroom first. And I've been to court. I've been to trials, right? Where I was on the victim, right? I was the victim as far as when my nephew was murdered. Now, they don't let the victim and the accuser, they don't let their families out together. They separate it because the courts want to ensure safety. So Quadeja Johnson's group were let out first. Now, when they're let out first, they are supposed to leave. They're supposed to leave, and then they let out Romeca's family. That is to ensure safety. All right, let's continue to hear what she's saying.
And that they lingered a little bit in the hallway. And then after that, Romeca's family was let out, but there was still leftover from support. I don't know who, a little bit in the hallway. And then producer who was there said that Quadeja Holly Johnson's family was let out first, out of the courtroom. And that they lingered a little bit in the hallway. And then after that, Romeca's family was let out, but there was still leftover from supporters of Quadeja Holly Johnson. I don't know who it.
Y'all hear that? So we know that one of the supporters was Carlos. Why would y'all hang out after y'all were released? To antagonize the family, right? My mother always told me, you go looking for trouble, you're gonna find it. They should have went on. Okay, there's conflict. There's conflict. Why would you stay around? We know Carlos is an antagonist. He's been antagonizing that family ever since they lost Romeca.
Change words with who? I'm not here to say that because I was not there to know. And even though my field producer, our field producer of Fox 32 was there, it was not clear who started the drama first. That is unknown here.
Hey, Terry. So, as she said, they don't know who started the drama first, but we do know there was an antagonist. The antagonist being Quadeja Johnson's camp. They stayed around, they lingered around until Romeca's camp came out. What do you think was going to happen?
She's innocent in this and that she did the right thing, okay? And then you have and obviously there's two sides, right? Really three. There's people that are supporters of Romeca. She's had supporters this entire time. Since she died, people have been calling for Quadeja Holly Johnson to be charged. And then you have those of Quadeja Holly Johnson that believes that, she's innocent in this and that she did the right thing, okay? And then you have people that are just talking that know nothing about either one of them. They're just followers of the story. Well, we don't know what transpired outside of that courthouse, except for to say that some people are saying that Carlos approached the family. Okay, that's what some people are saying. Some people are in the family being.
And y'all hear that, right? Carlos approached the family. I don't know what his thing is. I don't know who he think he is. I don't know what he's feeling like. But he need to leave the family alone. Leave the family alone, Carlos. They are grieving, they are hurting, they are trying to cope as best as they can. Leave them alone.
Romeca's family. Then other people are saying that it was the opposite, okay? That it was the opposite and that the family approached Carlos or said something to Carlos. I don't know which one is true, okay? Because we're looking, the video we have is everybody going out. You can hear stuff being said, arguing back and forth. It's both sides. And the video that we have, you hear both sides. It's no indication of who kicked it off in our video from when the argument transpired in the hallways of the Layton Criminal Courthouse. You hear both sides saying something. Now, outside, we don't know because we were not out there. T.T. Barfield, who recorded video outside, where you hear Romeca's sister basically saying, you ruined that girl's life and you ruined that girl's life, speaking of Quadeja Holly Johnson. And, you know, my sister, you know, is obviously not here. That was words that she was hurling at Carlos. So again, we don't know who kicked off what outside. What I can tell you is that from the video, we see that, at least this is what I'm being told, that Carlos is then put in handcuffs, brought back in the courthouse, and then family members of Romeca too, one which we know for sure is a family member of Romeca or related to Romeca or known of Romeca because that person has on pink, is also brought back into the courthouse and is in handcuffs with the sheriff. The other person is unknown. So we can at least say Carlos was brought back into the courthouse, and so was a member of Romeca's family, based on the fact that as a support to Romeca, the family and those who are allies of the family have been wearing pink. So that we do know.
Okay. So we do know that the family of Quadeja Johnson was let out. They should have went on their way. Time after that, Romeca's family was let out. There were still some residual people, one being Carlos, in the hallway of the courthouse after he had been released to go. Now, I don't feel like he was a victim. He put himself in that position. He put himself in harm's way. That's not intimidating of a victim, of a witness. He was antagonizing the family, and he has been antagonizing the family since they lost Romeca. So no, I don't feel like that he's being tampered with at all. I feel like he put himself in bad positions, just like he put himself in bad positions of playing women. So no, I don't think so, but it's up to you. I gave you the information and you decide. Now, we're going to hear, okay? We're going to hear from this reporter that supporter's been calling her job, trying to get her fired. What is wrong with people? What is wrong with people? It's her job to report the news. Why would y'all be calling her job, harassing her, trying to get her fired for what? I don't understand. Like, I really don't understand humans, especially humans that have evil intentions. I don't understand that. So why would y'all call Tia Ewing's job to get her fired? What did she do to you? Just crazy.
For my job and all this stuff, who you need to be pouring your love and heart out to are the children that are literally at a deficit.
Let me rewind that so y'all can hear what she said.
Job and all this stuff, who you need to be pouring your love and heart out, all this stuff, who you need to be pouring your love and heart out to are trying to call for my job and all this stuff, who you need to be pouring your love and heart out to are the children that are literally at a deficit because of this situation. But we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on all this other outside stuff. You got kids that are caught up in the middle of this. One in the womb who was not here, who was growing up in a womb that's probably stressed out in jail. One that is, I don't know where the little baby in all of this is. And I say baby because we know that child is not, I don't think the child was quite 1 year old yet, maybe like 9 months or so, almost 10 months. And then we have Carlos Jr., who's out here without parents right now. So, okay, so I want to clear that up.
I just love me an intelligent woman, especially a black woman who can have adult conversations. You know, I just love it. Like when you take off the blinders, when you open your ears and listen to both sides, then you're able to make an informed decision. That's what it's called, an informed decision. As human beings, we are not always right. I've had times where I've thought that I sided with with a side, and when I got all the information that I needed to make an informed decision, I was on the other side because I had the knowledge and information that I needed to make that decision. So, for those people that are calling Tia Ewing's job to try to get her fired, that's not going to happen because she's doing her job. I don't know why anyone would do that, but they did it, and that came from her mouth. All right. All right, so we're gonna let her tell us because she was there. I have not seen any bloggers or anybody, report on the court and what happened in the court that was there. So we're gonna hear from her, right? And that's what I love about me and my channel, right? I speak facts and I bring facts with receipts. It's not something that I just make up in my head or something that I feel biased towards. No, I give you guys the facts, the law, and you guys make your decision. Whatever decision you make, that's your decision. And you're still in the true crime family. However you feel, you can, and bring auntie receipts if you have them, if I'm wrong, and I will correct it. All right. Make sure you guys hit that live button, share button. Also, I have a goal. All right. I have a goal of 15 super tills. 15 super tills. I would like to make it. If not, I'm just happy y'all are here with me on this New Year's Eve day. But I have a goal, and if you can help me meet it, I will love it. All right. So let's hear from what happened inside that courtroom.
Let's get into what happened today. So in court today, what transpired was, again, Quadasia Holly Johnson's attorneys, they argued for her to, essentially, they were pressing for her to be let out. Rightfully so. They can do that. That is their legal right to do that. She is pregnant. Prior to this, she did not have a lengthy criminal history. In fact, she had one thing that was a misdemeanor, so not even worth talking about. I mean, it was nothing on her record prior to this. So from a legal standpoint, that is something that an attorney will argue. It doesn't.
So y'all hear that? Holly has no background. She has no violent background. She has no criminal background.
Not matter who it is. That attorney would then argue that my client is not a flight risk. My client has never, felt the need, and she had a CCW. She was a concealed carry holder, and there is nothing that indicates that she had fired that weapon at someone or pulled out her gun to shoot and kill someone. Allegedly, because we don't know everything unfolded. We're seeing the aftermath video, okay? So prior to that, based on what we know, there's nothing that showed that in her history. So an attorney is obviously going to argue, my client is pregnant, she had no prior criminal.
So like we already know, her attorney, which is Ari Williams, tried to get her out of jail. As we know, Holly right now, she is in jail with no bond. So her attorney was trying to fight to get her out. We do know Holly is pregnant. Okay, then she has a younger baby at home, which is 6 months old. We do know that she was denied to get out, but I'm going to continue and let Tia, who was there, speak about what happened in court.
History, she should be let out. Is what they're going to say. So that was what they tried to have happen in court. That did not happen. That did not happen at all in court. What ended up happening was she was not let out yet again. So this is the second time. And in fact, she will reappear in court on January 7th.
Okay. So basically the same thing that happened the first time happened again on December 3rd. But she had her attorney there this time. And Ari was trying to get Holly out, okay? Who is Quadasia, but she goes by Holly. She was trying to get her out and that was denied. That's what happened in court, all right? That's all we know. Nothing else happened. Now I want to tell y'all, I said that I had some news about something new that the prosecution motioned for. The prosecution did motion for the family to receive compensation for the death of Romeca. So they have filed a motion for compensation for the victim. So that's something new that was filed recently. And that's what I wanted to break to you guys. Okay, so that's basically what all I have from court. Now, I wanted to let you guys, and I want you guys to hear this loud and clear, right? Safety first, safety first, safety first. And I'm going to let you hear this.
Get into what happens in a case like this. There's very heightened emotion. So who knows how this is going to play out. The judge has a very big job here. The judge's number one job in terms of the functionality of the courtroom, of the proceedings, is safety. That is the number one thing here.
As it should be, safety, safety first, right? So putting out witnesses who are not active on social media, putting their pictures out or anything like that, that right there, you know, kind of like has a negative impact on them, right? It can compromise their safety. So I do know that from reading, because I do have other people that blog on this story that I go over and listen to. Now, I do know that the information has been sent in to the DA. What they're going to do with it, I have no idea. But I do pray that nothing happens to the witness who is private, who does not be active on social media, right? I hope nothing happens to her. I hope she doesn't change her mind because, you know, everybody needs to, you know, be able to speak what they saw. Even Carlos, everyone needs to be able to speak what they saw, right? We know we have a person dead who was unarmed, an unarmed person who's dead, who was shot by another person who was a woman. They were the same size. So there was no imminent danger, right? It would be different if Carlos, right? Let's take Romeca out of it. So if Carlos went over to attack Holly, right? He's a man. He's stronger. He's bigger. Okay. He has all this strength over Holly. Now, if he was to go attack her and she was to pull out a weapon, then we have self-defense, right? I feel like people need to like really educate themselves before they speak when it comes to things like this, because we don't want another case like this. We don't want another Romeca Meeks, right? So if it would have been a man towards a woman, and we know that man is stronger, he's bigger, and he's able to cause death towards that person because he has that strength, he has that size over that person. And she was to pull out a weapon or go get a weapon because he's still chasing her and trying to harm her, then she would have every right to use excessive force, right? But in this instance, right, we had a woman of the same size. Not only did we have a woman of the same size, we had 2 against 1. 2 against 1. That 2 being Holly and Carlos, right? There's no mistake. There's no denying that Carlos had Romeca in a headlock, right? We can't argue. We're not going to argue that, are we? He had her in a headlock. And he told her, she's going to shoot you. We do know Holly went back to her car. She did not have a gun on her. Okay? She went back to her car and got her weapon. The first shot hit her in the hip. She's down. While she's down, she decided to shoot her again through the eye. What constituted the second shot when your threat is down? What constituted that second shot? That's why Holly is locked up. She is a safety risk towards the public, right? That's why she's where she's at. That's why she's been denied bond twice. So I gave you guys the information. I gave you guys the facts. I gave you guys an eyewitness who was there in court. I gave you all of that. It's up to you as an individual to decide what you think. But at the end of the day, it's going to take those 12. And God knows I hate that our justice system is based on lay people coming in to determine what is law, to determine a verdict. Because when I see some of the closed-minded people that speak on different things, I'm like, Lord Jesus, why we just can't have like some people who are, that is educated in this matter as far as the law, and we have those same, just get a group of people where they're educated, they're trained to be jurors. That's what I wish we had, because if we had that, we wouldn't have innocent people, right? Innocent people in jail, or people that are not innocent being free, right? We wouldn't have prejudice, because we know for a fact that most of the people in jail are minorities, right? But we have people, and it's so scary, lay people that determine our fate. But anyway, like I said, like and subscribe. Join this channel. It's only 99 cents or $1.99. That gives me support, that gives me incentive, because I really do the groundwork. I really go out and get things and figure it out and bring it to you guys. All right. Now, I can say we have grown. This is the most money I've made on YouTube. This is the most money I've made on TikTok, because I am on TikTok. I'm like 50 followers from 50,000. I'm 50 followers from 50,000 followers on TikTok. I've always loved to listen and look at crime and try to figure shit out. That is something, it's like my calling. And so this is something that I really love. I love this. I love it. So tell your friends, tell your family to follow me. Actually join the channel. Like I said, it gives me incentive to just keep going. And it also supports my channel where I'm not having to work, extra, because I'm making money doing what I love what I do anyway, but I love this too. So everybody have a great, great New Year's. And remember to be safe. All right. Talk to y'all later. Like, subscribe, and make sure y'all comment. All right. Take care.